Guys, I come bearing amazing news, fantastic news actually. The streak is over. After 23 years, your boy is not single on Valentine's Day. Give it up. Give it up. I'll, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What's up? Welcome to the Pretty Decent Podcast, the podcast that barely meets expectations. My name is Javier, and I'll be your host. So relax, grab some snacks, and enjoy. All right, now let's get to the episode. Oh yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. I know. It's such a glorious day. I bet none of you thought this day would come. The day where I get the privilege, the honor to plan a Valentine's Day for my girlfriend. Wow. You know, it's I feel like it's the same level of emotion that NBA players get when they get called to the All-Star game. So many years of trying and failing and getting your heart broken. And now I found the perfect girlfriend. And I'm excited because Valentine's Day is in 5 days. And yes, today is February 9th. I am recording this, hopefully expecting it to release on February 9th, if not February 10th. Holy crap, it's already February 10th. Gosh darn it. Also, we're going to keep this podcast PG. I've heard a lot of complaints about my swearing, and I listen to you guys, okay? I listen to you guys. So, get comfy, grab some snacks. If you're at work, clicky clacking on your keyboard, I feel you because I was there pretty much this whole week because my work bestie was not in the whole week. But yeah, welcome back. Another episode. I bet y'all thought the other streak was gonna end, but no, because the week ends on Saturday. So as far as I know, as long as I get this episode out before Saturday, I would have still released an episode every week. So yeah, happy early Valentine's Day to my fellow lovers. If you're single, don't worry. That person for you is out there. But in the meantime, learn to love yourself, okay? Because as someone that spent a long time searching for that special someone, it'll come when you least expect it. As cliche as that sounds, I even thought it was cliche, but it does. As weird as it sounds, it really is when you least expect it. Because, and I'll probably talk about this when my girlfriend's a guest here, but I still don't know how I managed to get her to go on a date with me when I looked like a chia pet with my hair growing out, looking horrendous. But hey, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna get a girlfriend, I'm gonna do it on hardcore mode. Okay, it's not gonna be easy. Like, I know I don't have my amazing locks, and I know I don't have my amazing locks. I don't know what else I have beauty wise, but it was it was all with my charm, with my jokes, and my charm and my jokes. But yeah, anyway, welcome back. Another week. I know it's a pretty, everyone is like, oh, the Super Bowl is this weekend. Oh, who are you rooting for? Oh, Taylor, how often is Taylor Swift gonna be on the TV and stuff like that? And speaking of the Super Bowl, I I was I was just, you know, revisiting my almost gambling addiction that almost started when I was it a sophomore? No. Yes, a sophomore in college where I started betting on the Super Bowl and all the little things, and it was all because I watched the Super Bowl in a frat house. And man, I still remember the game. Chiefs Niners. A rematch. Who would have thought? But yeah, some dark, very dark hours that day. Luckily, I had no money in my bank account, so I did not gamble. Also, I would have lost because I had the Niners winning. And, if you revisit that Super Bowl, the Niners clearly blew that lead because, man, they sucked. But hey, who knows? Maybe this year will be different. Maybe with Mr. Irrelevant, they'll win. But hey, the Chiefs have Taylor and the Swifties on their side, so who knows? But now in like actual sportscaster mode, I don't know who I have winning. Cause hey, this was supposed to be a down season for the Chiefs, but they're in the freaking Super Bowl now, and the Niners have been the best team in the league. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens kind of like fumbled the bag in the AFC. Is it the AFC? Yeah, in the AFC Championship. Man. But, honestly, it's anyone's game. You have Christian McCaffrey on one side, and then you have Patrick Mahomes, who's arguably the most talented quarterback ever. If he keeps going at this pace, he's probably gonna be the GOAT. But I know everyone on ESPN is like, will the Kansas City Chiefs be a dynasty if they lose? And I'm like, well, I don't know. We'll see on Sunday. But I don't know, like, kind of like revisiting, back in my day when I was back home, a young little lad, just revisiting the Super Bowl commercials and stuff like that. And I was watching a YouTube video on like how it has changed drastically throughout the years. The 90s. Obviously, I wasn't born in the 90s, so I've never watched any 90s commercials. And then, the 2000s, and then like 2010s, and then like now it's like the 2020s. Jesus, the 2020s. I'm getting old. God damn. But he brought up something very interesting where he was saying like, back in the day, it used to be like the commercials were filmed on a camera, like the one I have right, like me speaking of myself, like the one I have right now, and like they look like home videos, and it's like wacky ideas and stuff. And nowadays it's like very like cookie cutter, and like they release the stuff before the Super Bowl. Like a lot of movie trailers have released already, and like some people like, well, some companies already release their commercials and stuff like that. So like it loses like the excitement, because like I've met people that bet on like what the first commercial is going to be, and like what movie trailers are going to show, and like, oh, will this company have a commercial and stuff like that, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that I almost went down that rabbit hole. But sometimes it pays off to be a broke boy, because I probably would have been more in debt than I'm already am. So, but yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like, and this is not hating on Taylor Swift. This is hating on every TV broadcaster and just putting her on blast all the time. Like, I get it. She's like the biggest pop star in the world, which props to her. But at the same time, I'm like, is that how desperate you are to get audiences to watch your stuff? Which is kind of just shows like everything in like that aspect of the industry is very okay. We need to get as much money out of this. And even like during my run today, I was thinking like, man, it's crazy how movies, it's actually, it was weird that I was thinking about this during my run, but you know how if you look back on every MCU movie, every new movie, there is a new suit for whoever like the lead of the movie is. Like, like for example in Spider-Man, like he had 3 different suits for every movie. And some movies even had up to 2 suits. So like, he's had like 12 suits probably or something like that. Because you have the Iron Spider, the homemade, the Stark one, and then like the black and red one, and then like the Night Monkey one, and then when he wore like the mask with like the jeans and stuff like that in Italy. And then you have the gold and black, and then you have the one with the paint on it, and then you have the one at the final battle, and then like the final swing one. Jesus, that's like almost 20 suits, and it's all to sell toys. And then I like lately I've been going into these like rabbit holes of like old movies, like when Star Wars first started, and like how that became a business of like, okay, we need to put stuff in the movies that is gonna sell toys. And it's just crazy to think that like critically most of those movies are like average, mediocre at best, but the whole purpose is to be like we're gonna make all of our money on merchandise and stuff like that, which hadn't really clicked in my head until like very recent, when like you have a comic accurate suit on a movie and then you change it and make it ugly, but it's just all to sell toys. And then like it's something that I really liked about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, because he had the same suit in all 3 movies. Maybe they altered the suit, like battle damaged or no mask or something like that for the toys, but it was never like, here's a brand, like a drastically different toy with a drastically different suit. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know how I went into that tangent, but going back to like the whole Taylor Swift and the Super Bowl stuff, I don't know. Like, I know she's been good for the NFL, but I've met a lot of people that are now more annoyed at her. Even in the kitchen, you can hear the train. Back to the scheduled programming. That was a long horn. Oh my god. Anyway, back to the show. Yeah, like people that have gotten more annoyed at her music, or like have gotten annoyed at her music because like now it's like playing everywhere because of like the NFL and all that stuff. And this is the Valentine special, right? So I'm gonna keep it in the topic of love. Don't worry, all of the stuff that I'm gonna talk about is gonna be love related, whether it be movies, TV shows, my life, it's all gonna be love related. It was funny, someone was saying, like, imagine if at the end of the Super Bowl the Chiefs win and Travis Kelce proposes to Taylor Swift, which I'm like, looking back on like interviews, oh my God, is this podcast now a Swiftie podcast? Please save me. Nah, I'm kidding. Anyway, but if you look at the more recent interviews in Travis Kelce's more recent interviews, he says a lot about like, yeah, this is like the most important, the most special Super Bowl, and like, I don't know if it's because of like the media just had the Chiefs being horrendous because the receivers couldn't catch a ball, which, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't even catch a ball, so I'm not really like critiquing that. Or if it's because of him being with Taylor, and then he's like, I'm ready to tie the knot, and we're gonna be a power couple, better than, what's another famous NFL couple, more famous than Brady and Giselle, more famous than Ciara and Russell Wilson. Who else is like enough famous? Like, I don't know who Aaron Rodgers. Well, Aaron Rodgers has been with like a bunch of different famous either actresses or models. I think he dated the girl from Divergent, the lead. I don't know her name. Yeah, I don't know her name, but I know he dated her. I don't know if they're still dating. If you're curious, go look into that. I'm not really curious, but yeah, it's like, what, 3 days off Valentine's Day, and like, like Taylor's coming from Tokyo, and then like, will she make the Super Bowl? And people were like playing it like, oh my God, making it sound as if like she's gonna make it like right before the start of the game. She'll make it on Saturday to Las Vegas. Like, it's not like she'll cut it close. Like, she has a freaking private jet. Like, she's suing the student that made the tracker for like private jets because apparently she uses her private jet a lot, and I'm assuming she just doesn't like people knowing that she pollutes the environment. No, honestly, it's just safety stuff. I wouldn't want people tracking where I am, so makes sense. But it's not like she's gonna be flying American, like, I mean, America, but like, it's not like she's gonna be flying American and be like, oh my God, am I gonna get it close to my connection? Like, am I gonna make it? Like, she just won album of the year. Okay, now that I'm like thinking back on everything I'm saying, it sounds like I'm complaining about Taylor Swift. No, her music is actually not bad. So I don't hate her. I don't like her. But it's just just everywhere you go, it's just, here's some Taylor Swift for you. Even if you like, well, I would say like my Instagram, why is my Instagram showing me Taylor Swift? But then I remember like I have Harry Styles and One Direction. So, like, it's like I'm a children of divorce, and I'm sticking with Harry Styles, but it's just the algorithm. But even then, like, Harry's not on tour. So why are you showing me Taylor Swift stuff? But then I remember that I'm following the NFL. So of course, sports, and I was like Taylor Swift. And now Taylor Swift is just being like shoved down my throat. Like here, you're gonna watch some Taylor Swift TikToks that you didn't know you wanted. And I'm like, okay. So just to clarify, no hate against Taylor Swift, but at the same time, people need to tone the heck out of it, because you're making it sound like she's gonna miss like the whole game and she'll make it just for the ceremony or something like that. Like, are you kidding? She's a global megastar. Like, she has a private jet. Okay. So yeah, maybe after this Super Bowl maybe Travis will have 2 rings. A Super Bowl wait. A Super Bowl ring? Well, he won't have the engagement ring, but like he'll get married, so like, like a wedding ring, But yeah, in the holy crap. I've been recording for 20 minutes and I haven't introduced the podcast. Anyway, what's up? We're gonna do the intro stuff 20 minutes in. What's up? Welcome back. I'm Javier. This is pretty decent. I know I'm still in my kitchen. I have a full-time job and I run, so I don't really have time to just be decoring my whole kitchen. But yeah, welcome back to the podcast. Lately, we've been doing really good, so thank you. So, hit that subscribe button, like the episode, review it on Spotify. I'm working on trying to get the podcast in more platforms, but I'm not tech savvy like that. I know I look like it, but I'm not. But yeah, thank you so much for the love. I really like that. I love love. I'm a lover. I love love. But yeah, it's Valentine's Day. And also, this is just a random thing, but today I was in the shower after my run. Don't worry, we're not gonna talk about running. It's fine. You're on the clear, okay? I heard a lot of complaints about, honey, all you do is talk about running. Well, excuse me. I'm trying to create a fake name that could be like for a girl or a boy. Well, excuse me, Cody. No, that's mostly a man's name. Troy, no. Benjamin, no. Sam, that could be both, because you have Sam Witwicky from Transformers, and then you have Sam Pocket from iCarly. Boom. Well, excuse me, Sam, for pretty much my whole life is running. Look, this is my current running so far in February. As you can see, run, 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 run. So sorry for wanting to qualify to the Boston Marathon, okay? But yeah, anyway. So, today I was in the shower, and I guess this is like a weird thing about me, but when you work out a lot, and at least when you're running a lot, you get like the white marks on your skin. It's just the salt from the sweat. Sometimes, if the salt is like on my hand or like on my face, I lick it. Call me crazy, but it tastes good, okay? I like salty food. My favorite chips are salt and vinegar, okay? Put me in jail for liking my own salt, okay? But today I was in the shower and I was like just like rinsing my face, like the pre-rinse, you know, and I was like, this tastes really good. Now I don't know if it's because I just have good hygiene and I don't smell, so you know it's like I just have like a good body taste. I don't know. I'm not a cannibal, so. But yeah, I found out that today, and it's just like, you know, like sometimes I'm running, like whenever I'm on a run, like it's like 18 miles long, right? And like there's salt all over my face. I just like going like, because it's like sticks to my like facial hair, so I'm like, it's salty, you know? I don't know. I know I'm crazy. I'm weird. Okay, back to the love stuff. You know, it's a love episode. It's all about love. You know, Travis and Taylor. I watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Amazon, which that was actually better than I anticipated it was going to be. Of course, I mean, anything that has Childish Gambino in it, I'm a sucker for that, okay? When he was in the when he was in the Solo movie, I was like, you know, I ate that movie up. Community, one of my favorite shows. Atlanta, amazing show. I have to rewatch it. But I was a little bit skeptical going into Mr. and Mrs. Smith because it's like a reboot. Yeah, it's a remake of the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie movie from like the 2000s. But this one, I was reading about it, and it's more focused on the marriage side of it. Like, yeah, you have the action, but like the action's more realistic. It's not like that 2000s spy thingy, you know. And the comedy is really good. Both of them, Maya Erskine, Maya Erskine, I think that's how you pronounce your last name. If I butcher your last name, I'm sorry, Maya. You're a great actress. You killed it in that show, by the way. Also, I didn't realize that she's one of the leads in Pen 15, which that show is pretty funny. And they have very good chemistry. They, you know, look like a very realistic couple. And the whole interaction of like, because, you know, this is not major spoilers, but, you know, they get hired by a company to be like, they change their names legally, and like, you know, they're fake married, and like they go on missions together, and like the company pays for their houses and stuff like that, and like they have like this like extravagant life, but at a price, which is like, you know, going on missions and like pew pew people and stuff like that, and like delivering stuff, which is a very good concept. And then obviously this is not a spoiler. Well, I guess no, because okay, if you watch the movie, you know that at the end they fight each other. Well, this one they also do that, obviously, but I won't spoil what happens in it, and how they get to that. But throughout the show, you see like how it is in a marriage. Obviously, I've never been married. I hope to be married one day. But you know, it's like that, like it's pretty much like every episode, the whole series just shows like from the stage of like getting to know the person to almost like considering divorce, which is crazy. Just like how well they dive into those thoughts and everything. Like, it's not a secret, this part of the show, because it was one of the trailers, but they go to couples therapy, and I just found that to be very funny because the way that they were explaining missions that you don't see through the therapy was very clever. But yeah, give it a watch. It's a very good looking show. The writing is really good. the action is pretty good, and it's just funny, and it's just really makes you think about the current state of marriage, not only in the US but in the world, and how, how it is very common to have in a marriage partners with different goals and what they want to attain in life. So I just found that very interesting. And just like, the importance of communication in a relationship and stuff like that, which I was like, speak your truth, Donald. Speak your mother flipping truth, bro. But yeah, it was a very good show. I watched all of it in like 2 days, which was insane because I hadn't done that in a long time. And then after that, I watched Jury Duty, which hilarious. Watch it, please. It's documentary style. I don't want to spoil anything, but I mean, the trope of the show is like it's like an insight into how jury duty it is in the US and how it works and all that stuff. And it's hilarious. James Marsden kills it as himself. So give it a watch. I'm definitely not paid off by Amazon. I just really they've been doing a very good job lately. Like very good job with their stuff. So yeah, give it a watch, but we gotta get back to the love because this is the love episode. And like I mentioned early in the episode, we broke the streak. We broke it. Finally did it. I know. I deserve my flowers. Maybe I get flowers on Valentine's. I don't know. It's I always see this quote that says, not to Kid Cudi the episode, but I always see this quote that says like men only receive flowers. Is it twice? No, once in their lifetime, and it's when they're dead. And I'm like, damn. So sometimes I'm like, maybe I should get flower for my friends, like my guy friends, like my best friends, because they deserve to know that they're appreciated and that they're loved, because they're pretty great people, like I wouldn't be the man that I am today if it weren't for my friends. So, but yeah, Valentine's is around the corner, and you know how it is. I like to play Cupid, so I'm gonna give you guys some ideas. Let me get comfortable, because this chair, look at this freaking chair. It's so tiny. You can't even see it. Like, it's like probably like my butt doesn't fit on the chair, so I'm like, sorry if I'm slouching. Just my legs hurt, from training for a marathon. I don't know, it's whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna give you guys, some tips to like recommendations, like what can you do for Valentine's. Not everyone has a bajillion dollars just like like laying around. Like I don't have a gajillion dollars with me. I could barely make a living for myself. So remember, you don't always have to get them gifts. Sometimes the best gift is just something that made with your bare hands, Maybe it's building them a table. If that's what you're into, build them a table, Or you could go to a pottery class and make them a vase. Or you can just buy a kit to make friendship bracelets, and then you make matching bracelets. Or, you can make them a quilt. Is a quilt like a blanket? I think so. Yeah, you can make them a quilt. You can make them Also, this includes for men and women. You know, I noticed that like 75% of my audience is women. I don't know why that is. I think it's because most men don't listen to podcasts, and if they listen to podcasts, it's like Joe Rogan and like not. But no, because like I have obviously I listen to podcasts, and like the podcasts that have like a male hosts have mostly female audience, and that's normal. I think it's because just like the sense of humor, I guess, or I don't know. But I mean, there's more women in the world than men, so maybe that could be it. I don't know. I'm not a sociologist, but yeah. So this is for both men and women. Um, maybe maybe you're the woman in the relationship, and uh, also this applies to every type of relationship out there, but sometimes I don't know how to explain this, so I won't explain it, but just forget I said anything. Um, maybe like you can cook them a meal, like ask them what's their favorite meal, and then you cook it for them. It might not be perfect, but you took your time, and perhaps you're an unexperienced cook that really only cooks chicken and rice with frozen broccoli. So like cooking something crazy like lasagna is something that you're scared for because you've never done it. And like maybe your partner is like the greatest person you've ever met, and you want to leave a good impression. So you're like, shiver me timbers, because you don't want to mess it up. And that's definitely not the situation that I'm in, but you'll find out. But you'll find out next week. Yeah. Or you can invite them to your podcast and like have her as a guest. Have them as a guest. um I mean, you can even just like take them on a romantic date. I mean, I know a lot of times, a lot of the couples that I've been seeing, they are not living in. I mean, I guess it's just like the whole current landscape of jobs and everything. A lot of couples end up being like in different cities, sometimes even different states. So having like weekly date nights is kind of hard. So I'm kind of blessed that I only live 15 minutes away from my girlfriend. Obviously weekends is hard because she's always out of state. But yeah, so we really only see each other like once a week. So like that day, obviously it's a work week, it's a work day, a work night. So I try to clear my schedule for her because she deserves undivided attention, even if it's only for 10 hours total. So, but yeah, sometimes it's really not about the the financial or monetary value of the gift, but rather like the place where the gift is coming from. Because that's just something that I personally like appreciate. Whenever someone gives me something, it doesn't have to be my girlfriend or my parents or something. It's just in general. Like, I know how valuable time is, and I feel like better than there's no better way to show how much you mean to someone, or how much you mean to someone by other than them giving you time out of their day to spend it with you. Like, I'm not calling out my friends, but no, they have given me gifts. So, but sometimes I just like sitting around with them and just talking, cuz that's where like really like you really live life, Like, yeah, is this Harry Styles now Gene? Oh my god. I just realized I'm wearing a Harry Styles hat. I'm not wearing a Harry Styles shirt, but like hydration. But like, yeah, like that water bottle's cool, but at the end of the day it's just a plastic bottle. I'd rather, like, if someone were to tell me like, would you rather have this amazing pair of race shoes or have a vacation with your partner, it would be a tough choice. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, I would go on vacation with my partner because, like, you create memories with the person. Like, yeah, you know, sometimes people bend over backwards, but at the same time, like, what's the point of not living your life? Just, I don't know. Because I feel like that's just something that I've seen a lot lately when it comes to like my generation, where it's, sorry, I'm making sure that the camera doesn't go again. Just something in my generation where it's, we're pretty much, and I say we as like my generation, where we don't want to work until we're 60, just and like start living our life at 60. Like, we'd rather do stuff in our early years and live and enjoy the youth we have, and not succumb to the capitalistic world that is the world at the moment. And that's fair, because I hadn't realized how outdated the current landscape of work nowadays is, like, everywhere I read it and like experience it on my daily life. Like, last week I walked into the office and I woke up great. I woke up in a great mood. I was having a great morning. I was actually like felt well rested and stuff. As soon as I walked into the building, I all of my joy just whoosh away. And I was like, holy bleep, I'm unhappy. Not unhappy, just depressed. Unhappy is a very strong word. I was just like, I'm not having a cash money time right now. And I don't know if it's just because of like, obviously, I think it's like multiple factors, because I have been enjoying work. It's very taxing. I will say that. That's something they don't tell you in college. But I think it's also because I haven't been able to run the way I want to. So there's like a lot of like piled up frustration. And also, like, everything is so freaking expensive nowadays that you're trying to, it's like playing, I don't know, like playing a hard ass game. Playing a game where, like, it's just hard to figure out how to make ends meet. Because like I was reading that everything in the world in price is going up, but salaries are staying the same. So, like, there's like this gap, inflation. There's this gap where, like, okay, how am I supposed to be able to have basic needs when my salary's here? Like, hello, because it's crazy. Like, I was doing groceries last weekend, and it's like $3 for a freaking bell pepper. Well, it's like 180, but still, that's so freaking expensive. Like, no wonder people rather buy unhealthy food, because healthy food, well, it's not, I mean, pesticides, whatever, but it's like it's so expensive. And it's just like something, I guess, like that's just like where my piled up frustration is, because I'm like, well, obviously I like my job and I'm thankful for my job, but I'm like, obviously this is a very extreme thinking of me, but like, are all of these hours of hard work where, I wake up early, I pretty much just work for a third of my day, I get home exhausted, I can't really enjoy my running that much because I'm exhausted. Um, like, is it really worth it for the financial gain I'm acquiring? And it's like a lot of stuff to put into perspective. I mean, it's also like I'm still early in my career, so obviously, as time goes by, hopefully my salary goes up. But it's like a lot of things to think about that they don't really teach you in school. On, like, for example, like, you don't have to follow everyone's life path to have a successful life. Like, you're never too old to be in school. It's never too late to pursue a dream. Like, who says that you're after 30, you can't pursue new things? Like, you know, and I think, like, that's just something that I've been trying to tell myself. Like, it's never too late to try something new. Like, you know, I'm trying to think of something that's not running related, but screw it. I've been running for 4 years, and who knows? Maybe if I set a insane goal, like, I can achieve something good, even though I don't have the history of running since I was like 8 or something like that. So, it's never too late to start something, and I feel like that was just something, like, back in the day that people made to kind of, like, I guess, as crazy as it sounds, like, destroy dreams and, like, not let people reach their full potential. So, holy crap, that was a massive tangent. So, back to the love thing. What else can you do? Like, museum dates are very underrated. I know that Valentine's lands on a Wednesday, which is kind of inconvenient, but at the same time, no, it's inconvenient because it just means that all the restaurants are going to be packed on a Wednesday night. So, I'm celebrating it on Tuesday, so that's good. I won't tell you my plans because I don't want to spoil it. It's a surprise, okay? It's a surprise from a Pookie. My Pookie, my Pooh Bear, my Pookie Wookie. It's funny how I started saying that unironically, like, making fun of it on Instagram, and I would just say it. I would say it with my chest. I say it with my chest. Holy crap. 48 minutes in. Sheesh. Where's all the time gone? Ah. Boy's got pipes. Yeah, I'm starting to go crazy. It's like 11:12 p.m. and I gotta go to bed. So, honestly, don't think this is gonna be released tonight. Probably Saturday. So, happy Saturday if you're watching. But yeah, I guess we're gonna cut it there. Once again, happy early Valentine's Day. If you're single, celebrate it with your friends, or maybe don't succumb to the capitalistic world. You're free to do whatever you want, um I genuinely appreciate all the support, because the past, I mean, we've just been going up on views and listens. So that's all you guys, I'm just a guy with a microphone. That's all I know. So I just want to say thank you, and that I really appreciate it, and that I love you guys. So, and I would love you even more if you subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the Spotify page. Yeah. And leave a comment and like the episode, and rate the podcast. But yeah, it's been an honor. It's always my pleasure to be your host once again. Another week, another episode. Am I right? But yeah, guys, the streak is over. It's time to celebrate. Throw a party, invite all your friends, and tell them "Yo, the streak is over," and then they'll be like, "Yeah, what streak?" And there's this random dude that has a podcast. He finally has someone to celebrate Valentine's Day with. So I was about to say throw it back for a real one, but it doesn't apply to this. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But you know what? Throw it back for a real one. Anyway, it's been an honor and a pleasure, and my pleasure. And I'll see you guys next week with a brand new episode post Valentine's Day. So, no, I won't. Actually, next week's episode won't be post Valentine's Day, because I'm taking a trip to Indiana. Maybe if I manage to record on Friday, but if I don't, it'll probably be before Valentine's Day, but after the Super Bowl. So, just stay tuned. I love y'all. Peace. Wait. Okay. I had to pose for the thumbnail. Okay. All right, we got it. Bye.